how to change a rocker switch on your Gammill. Now your rocker switch is going to look like this, and this will actually work on any of the Gammills you have that have rocker switches. It doesn't necessarily have to be the one that I'm showing you today. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to make sure your power's off on your machine, so you'll turn your switches off. Then you want to go over and unplug your machine as well. You want to make sure that you have no electrical source going to there anytime you're changing an electrical part on the machine. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is get your 3 30-second Allen wrench. Now I like to use a T-bar, it's just easier to turn, but you can use whatever you have as long as it's a 3 30-second. You will notice that this one has 4 screws. Yours might have 2. So whatever screws you have, you want to take them all off. Now that we have that loose, we're actually going to get the foam and take a picture of it, because the electronics and the wires have to be plugged in the same direction. So get your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, then you can just jot yourself down a diagram. I have a phone, so I'm just going to take a picture of it. And I'll just do different angles so I can see the color of the wire coming out of each prong. Now once you've done that, you're just going to take your pliers and you're going to loosen your prongs. Sometimes these can be really hard to get off, especially the first time you change it. So just gently go back and forth. And now that I've had that off, those are off, I'm going to now loosen the rocker switch. Now let me show you a new rocker switch real quick. There's actually like a plastic washer on there. We're just going to loosen that off when we put the new one on anyway. So this just kind of gives you an idea of what we're fixing to do with the old one. So you're going to take your needle nose pliers and just rotate it off. Now once you've got it loose, you kind of want to hold the front in a good place so you can loosen the back off. Now the first time you remove it, you might run into where you just can't get that switch out. It's kind of stuck in. We just can't remove it. So then what you would do, again, make sure you have good pictures before you do this. Take off the other wires, and then once you get those other wires off, you have full access to this. And then you're going to take your pliers and give it a little bit of a grip and rotate it off. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put the new rocker switch in. I'm going to pull up my picture that I took to make sure I have it right, and it shows me red, black, and white, so I wanted to double check that. I'm going to get the switch. Now you'll notice on the switch there is the wording of the voltage, so you want to make sure you put that back in the same direction that you took it out. So when we pop that in, another easy way to look at it is that we knew we turned it off so that they're facing the same direction. So I'm going to take this washer. It's going to be the teeth in first. We're going to tighten it. And you can get a really good snug on it. I wouldn't use pliers to tighten it back. That way if you have to change it again, you're not going through all the effort to take it back out. You can see how it's kind of crooked up there, so I want to make a few adjustments before I tighten it too much. And it'll actually rotate the way I want it. I'll just give another good snug. Then I'm going to go in and put my wires back in. White. And then black and red. And these could be different on your machine, so that's why it's real important to take a picture. Once I have that in, I'm going to set this back down up here, put my screws in, okay. I like to get like at least one screw in, hold it in place a little bit, then we want to plug it back in. So just take your power and plug it back in. Then we're going to test it, make sure it turns on. Oh, and it turned red. The lights came on, so we know that we got the power to it. Double check that they're in the right direction before you screw in the rest of them back down. Once I test it, I go ahead and unplug it again just to put the rest of the screws in. Once you've done that, you're done.